Today we're going to unbox our first thing of Skinny Minis. We have 4 of these giant boxes that all come with 2-dimensional minis, and inside each box there's quite a bit, so let's get into it. You'll notice that most of them come with this plastic wrapping. I've already taken most of them off ahead of time, but let's take a look. The first thing we have here is the Ancient Red Dragon. These bad boys breathe fire and they are quite abrasive. Next up we have a Platinum Dragon. This is Bahamut. Bahamut is the god of the good dragons, more or less. Next up we have the Copper Dragon set, first starting with the ancient one and moving into the other stages of life, getting younger and younger as you go on until you get to the little baby wormling. All of the minis are front and back sided. Taking a look here, this is the Ancient White Dragon, which is really cool. At first I thought this was the Platinum one. That is not the case. Next we have the Undergloom set. This is a bunch of creatures for your Underdark setting. We've got a Behir, we've got Flunks, they're really cool, front and back as well. And we have a bunch of Rays here, we have a bunch of different characters that would be living in the Underdark, like some Duergar, some Undergnomes, stuff like that. Next we have a bunch of Giants and Ogres, and they do look a little bit different than normal, which is nice. This Eden here specifically is a little bit out of place, which I like. I like some unique character. Next we have some more generic looking Ogres and Trolls. Then we have an Ancient Green Dragon. These bad boys are very conniving, they breathe poison, and they're not a lot of fun to deal with. Next we have a bunch of Undead. We've got a Lich, we've got Skeletons, we've got Undead Warlocks. Really cool looking set here. Most of the art I think is fantastic, and it's different from a lot of the other stuff that I've seen. Next we have some sea monsters. So you've got like a giant shark, which is a Megalodon, you've got your great white, and then you've got some more generic under the sea baddies like a sea hag. Moving on here, we have a bunch of, I believe this is the non-binary set. So these heroes are a little bit more of an in-between, which is nice because, you know, most characters that you're going to get in mini sets are going to be leaning one way or the other, and it's nice to have something that is a middle ground. Here's a bunch of cultists. I really like this set because none of these guys are cult specific, so you can just kind of throw them in whatever setting makes sense for you. Of course, they look a little bit more shamanistic than maybe the Cult of the Dragon would, but still good nonetheless. Next up we have Wilderness Beasts. So you have everything from a Froghemoth to some constructs. I think that's actually a werewolf there. And the other part of that set has a Gorgon, it's got a Minotaur, it's got a bunch of cool stuff. So very nice. Next we have a Giant Angel. It's not quite a Diva, a Solar, or anything like that, but an awesome size to be any like agent of the gods. Imposing for sure. Next up we have an Ancient Silver Dragon. These guys are super social, like to pretend to be people, and a lot of fun to have as an NPC or something in your games. Next we have this massive demon. I don't think it really copies any particular stat block, but it's just really cool, and I think it's a fun demon to throw into your games. Next we have an Ancient Blue Dragon. These guys breathe lightning. They're pretty savage, and we actually had one in our game last night. Next we have another Undergloom set, Underdark set. We've got a Grill here, we've got Intellect Devourers, we've got some demonic looking fungi that are definitely being taken over by Zuggtmoy. Yeah, and some Underdark creatures. Next we have some Gnomes. These guys come with some interesting constructs. You've got like your raccoon, you've got a cool little owl, and yeah, they're all a bunch of cute little guys. Next we have a Tiefling set. These are all Tiefling spellcasters. So you've got a variety of ages, genders, and races here. Next up we have exotic races. So this is just a combination of things you might not see too often. We have Tabaxi, Aarakocra, Lizard Folk, Furbolg. Yeah, we kind of goes through, even a Yuan-Ti, like it goes through most of your bases. Next we have some human villains. So these are some people you'd see inside of any town. You know, you have your overbearing king or your dark knight. You have that evil wizard or the mad scientist that live in the town. Just a good set. My thought about buying all of these minis were just to cover all of my bases, get everything I would need. Like all of these beholder type creatures here, which are fantastic. This is the floating watcher set. And the last set here, which is composed of 3, are actually a bunch of demons. I think it's a combination of both demons and devils, but definitely nothing that you'd want to mess with on your day-to-day basis here. And then of course my favorite is the Pit Fiend, which is fantastic. But yeah, that's it. Let me know if you guys are interested in seeing the rest of it. And thanks for just taking a look at this unboxing. It was kind of a quick, informal video, but I figured some of you would want to see what's inside.